Let's see if we can just do that to restart the YouTube stream. Oh my god. All right, and we're probably back. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We're having to figure out a security issue here. Dun, dun. Okay, cool. Okay. As long as that keeps working, we'll be fine. Alright, so we're gonna head over to Art Station and show off, like, there's a lot of AI art in here, isn't there? There's High Guard. But this is like where people upload arts. To kind of show off, kind of style on people. And, you know, there's a bunch of Star Citizen ships in here, I think. You know, concept work and whatnot. That's basically what Star Citizen is. Star Citizen is just like, you know, principal concept artist. It's basically like LinkedIn for artists. But that's basically what Star Citizen is. It's just a really fancy art station thingy. All right, so what the fuck are we gonna do today? I have no idea. We're already done with all the priority missions, unless you want to head over and buy a bunch of ice and then like run back to urgent rescue. Well, I was gonna accept that. I don't think urgent rescue and pyro is gonna work out though. I still have all those stupid fungus. Where is it? I think it's this one. Calcium ring, Port Tressler above Microtech. I mean, we could do this, but we have to head over to Nyx, which means we actually need a ship that can do combat, which means we're going to be waiting here for a while. Which is like the Corsair. I think I've upgraded the Corsair. I can't remember if I have or not. I think I did upgrade it partially. Yeah. How long is that going to be? 10 minutes? 17 minutes? 5 minutes. Of course, insufficient credits. Come on. I have like 200 million credits. There we go. Now, another thing is, do they have the cutting torch here? Drill tractor beam. Nope, nope. They have Cambrio SRT attachments. Tractor beam. They have hacking tools. Not like they mean anything here. They also have Mobi-Glass. I saw a post on Reddit asking people like, well, what multi-tool would you use? And I was just like, none, because ain't nobody gonna notice what Mobi-Glass you have. Oh, let's check the Hobo lunchbox. We were talking about this in Star Citizen. That you're never more than a few meters away from a rat. Oh, nope, it's gone. Did CIG get rid of it finally? Did they finally learn to make Pyro more of a survival place? There's usually a couple different places the Hobo Lunch Guard, the Hobo Lunch Guard, the Hobo Lunchbox exists. Here's one of them. Oh, look at that! Cruise Lux. Lifeguard medical attachment. Golden melons. A Pyro multi-tool. Proto. You just don't need... You don't need anything in Pyro. Like, it just... You'll automatically... The Lord provides. God bless him. Usually there's another one down here too somewhere. Sometimes there's one like back here. And then we can put, I don't know, the multi-tool away. Keep the rest of it. Like I said, we have these mold samples. I don't know what the hell to do with them. Oh, you know what we could do? I just realized I could start. Where's Gimp? Gimp over here. Is this the old one? Yeah. I'm gonna unpin that from taskbar. Gotta wait for GIMP to start up. We do need to start making a map of Pyro. And we can kind of start doing that right now. Create new 1920 by 1080. And layers box. There we go. Layers. So new layer. It's gonna be Pyro. So we also need a center of Pyro. Okay, so we need center. Center. We'll just put it center. Background. I would love to have the background be like black. So let's change that. All right. Mine isn't feeling black. You can always also go gray. Yeah, I don't know. I have it selected and it's not changing color. Yeah. It's changing it to white. Hold on a second here. Do I have to change? There we go. It's a little bit easier to work with to be black. So we'll just have the background be black. Or we can make it kind of a dark red. Because it's Pyro. Right? Kind of a darkish red. Yeah, black works. So with the background. There we go. And delete that. Oops. Oh, why don't we just Control Z all that? Control Z. And it's not working. There we go. Background works. Center of Pyro works. Actually, delete that and add a new one. So we need a center mark for the image, so we know exactly. Always love it when it hides my docs. So 1920 by 1080. Right. It's 960. There they are. So that's 1080 over there, so we need 960 in the center. So let's go open and view. Show grids. Fortunately, the grids don't work that well because reasons. There we go. What did we say the middle was? 960? So we need to go 960-ish right here. 960. And then 1080 divided by 2 is 540. Can we just not have that? Actually, I need a... I mean, this works. Just need 1 pixel. Or 2 pixels. So 960 by what? 540. Is the exact center of the image. So right here. Oop. The exact center of the picture. Probably not the actual center. There's probably like a snap or something. Snap to grid. There you go. Now, why did we do that? Because if I want the pyro, we want the pyro star to be exactly in the center of Stanton, or exactly in the center of pyro. We're gonna need a center point, right? And then expands from center like that, and we want size to be 50 by 50, I think. Do I want it to be 50 by 50? Not entirely sure. $50px. Where's the little symbol? 50px squared. And then we'll fill that with a different, like yellow or orange. The pyro star is actually like red. Right? Kind of orangey red. Kind of a brighter orangey red. There we go. Seizes every opportunity to do math, I know, right? So Pyro Star is 50 by 50 pixels. So now we need to figure out Terminus's orbit to Pyro. And we're just going to do everything from, like... Right? Boone Station. Untitled Notepad. Yes, don't save that. One station. Make it a map for Pyro, yep. That is... Well, we're not actually in a ship, so we need a ship for that. And we should probably save our work, just in case. File... Save as. Try to remember when Star said to send us in pictures, right? And then we're gonna do maps. Yeah, sure, Pyro. Pyro system map. We'll save it in there. We got that kind of cooking. I've been meaning to make a map of like the substantial stuff in Pyro. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's flip this over here. Corsair. We need to be in a ship to actually like see distances. Unfortunately, like if you're on foot, you don't get like, oh, this is Ruin Station to Terminus. This is not Yeah. Since we're at Terminus, we can actually start taking these measurements. Just ask AI to make it. Sure. I tend to be a little stubborn in that regard. I prefer to do it myself. I know. I'm just stubborn. So we need to get into the pilot seats. Come on. Watch it be like a crash recovery. For some reason, it's not moving. I'm willing to bet we're gonna have a crash recovery here in just a second. Can I go to the roof? This is new. I have yet to see the Corsair do something like this. It just opened the roof up for me. So now I can just go straight through if I wanted to. I'm pulling the mess hall button. Okay, what if I just go to the ramp? Open the ramp up. Jesus Christ. That was actually a jump scare. Holy Christ. Like, that scared me. Fuck me. Like, just having, like... I was legit startled. It wasn't even... There wasn't even, like, a fucking... good moment to join Lunatic Boat. Yes. There wasn't even, like, a loud noise or anything. We're just listening to the Stellaris, nice chill Stellaris soundtrack. And then suddenly, like, the game just, like, the door just pops up in my face. And I'm just like, holy shit! I don't do really well with scary movies, by the way. I don't like scary movies. Alright, let's just open the entire ship up and just lock all the doors open. There we go. We'll never have to open another door in my life. So what the fuck is going on with this elevator? I guess this elevator's just broken. Alright, now we can get going. Start doing some calculations. Alright. So we want to get Terminus to... Pyro to Terminus. Do we even really care? Like, not really. I want to do Terminus to, like, the main star. That's basically all I really want. Just to figure out the orbit. or terminus around Pyro. And then we could like do like the other stuff, the various Lagrange points. Trying to think, like Pyro is like very messy when it comes to the stuff that hangs around the entire system. And so I'm trying to think if how we're gonna like. We just do like a debris cloud. Like, yeah, there's stuff nearby. Just stuff that's nearby other stuff is what we could do. This is next to this. This is next to this. There's a... Is that a moth? I think it's a moth. It's abandoned. Could also be a mole. Hard to say. Corsair. Mole. So it looks like this guy was mining. Hurricane. Yeah, pretty much default shit on this guy. Nothing too crazy. Sometimes you can find nice stuff. You gotta play something like Halloween Wake 2 and Halloween. The scariest game I played recently, or in memory, wasn't Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation was not that scary for me. It was more obnoxious. Like, once that game broke immersion, I just wasn't scared of anything. Was a game called Darkwood. That was like one of the scariest games I played in recent memory. Yeah, nothing on this guy. No interesting parts. Even if it had like interesting parts, you can't take it out of this cutlass. Quite unfortunate. And Darkwood was top-down, third-person, like isometric. No, it was a top-down isometric, like holdout simulator. Darkwood was amazing. I cannot. I can shill for Darkwood. Darkwood was so fucking scary and just so unsettling. It's one of those games that really affects you, like stays in your memory. And that's what you want out of horror games. Games that just kind of like give you bad dreams for like for a few weeks. Games that you just can't forget. And Darkwood left a good impression on me. And so I can always recommend Darkwood as anybody who likes horror. Although I'm pretty much like a newbie when it comes to horror games, I really don't go very hard for them. But Darkwood was a really good experience. I hated it. I hated playing Darkwood because of how just horrible it was to actually experience it. Right? It wasn't a terrible game. It was very well made. It played very well, but the subject matter made me feel very icky. Right? And that's kind of what you want out of a horror game. I'm trying to explain how this is without making like it's a horror game. You don't want to play it. But it was very well done, and I appreciate the art that went into it, and the design and the thoughtfulness that went into it. But do I want to play Darkwood again? No. Not because it was a bad game. I don't want to play Darkwood because it was a real good horror game, because it made me feel awful. So I can actually pull out like a screenshot of Darkwood to kind of show you how it plays. Fuck off. Darkwood game. Yeah, here's your basic gameplay screenshot of Darkwood, and you may ask yourself, Vertigo, how could this be scary? It works, believe it or not, because it's a holdout simulator. It's a holdout survival game where you have the daytime and you have the nighttime, and you still have stuff to worry about during the daytime, but you're going out during the daytime. You collect a bunch of resources, upgrade materials and whatnot, weapons and crafting items. And then when the night comes, you have to get back to the house or back to a secure area. and you have to like put traps down. Yeah, it's 2D. And I was terrified playing this game. Like it literally gave me palpitations. And it works. Like eventually, like when you first start out, like it's not very scary, but when you start getting deeper into the game, it starts getting really unsettling. The art style is just amazing. Like just super creepy, like tentacles, and like it has this very bioorganic, not bioorganic, yeah, plants and animals like mixing together. But like I said, the night comes and you have to like start putting traps down and getting weapons ready and like blocking doors because you can't go outside. If you go outside, you just like instantly get ripped apart by like werewolves and shit and man bear pigs. It's quite sick. Yeah, here's like the night holdouts. Like what you're like where you're gonna be you have the house, you can't see all around you. You can only see what's in front of you and a little bit what's around you. And you have like windows you gotta board up, you have doors you gotta like brace and whatnot, and you have monsters that constantly try to break your doors down, try to get to you. Have I played Layers of Fear? No. I've seen someone play it, and I hear it's actually really bad. Because it's actually kind of funny how bad it is. And you basically have to survive the night, and as the game goes on, the nights get worse and worse and worse. So I could highly recommend it. And I think Darkwood is actually like, it's on GOG.com. It's on Steam. It's probably not that expensive. It's probably like a couple dollars, I would imagine. Yeah, $15. I can highly recommend Darkwood for $15. And it probably, you can put it on your wish list, wait for it to go on sale. There's the soundtrack art book. The art book, if you like horror games, you like art and horror games. Darkwood has a great art style. Like, yeah, it is all sorts of fucked, like the art style of Darkwood. If you're one of those people that really goes hard for like horror art, like maybe getting the art of Darkwood would be a good idea. I don't know if I'd recommend buying the complete edition, but it's there. But yeah, for like $10, I could highly recommend Darkwood for $10. Oh no! Something went wrong with my display. Whatever, fuck off. Alright, let's go down to Terminus. For some reason, you've never been able to warp straight to Terminus. I don't know why. Even though I've set like destination to it. CSG doesn't care, nobody comes here. It's not a priority. It's not a priority fix.
Quantum drive is now off.
It's not a priority fix. A game Burgling Gnomes on Steam. There's a free demo right now. No, I haven't seen it. Is that... Oh, that's one of those... Oh, wait a minute. I have seen it. I think I've seen, like, clips of people playing it. Maybe one of these days we actually have to do, like, co-op games with people. Man, we got a podcast coming up here in about an hour. Just want to keep remembering. So we're going to be on the Astropub with Paul Shelley, talking about the Alliance 8 event and how obnoxious it was to complete. What the fuck is this? It's like bright. Oh, it's a Nomad. I was able to see that Nomad from really far away, just flying down. Is this guy mining or something? What the fuck is going on here? Is that Femeline? Okay, here's how you don't mine in Pyro, folks. I feel like I should probably just kill this guy, just out of, just to help him like don't do this. There should be a rock here, yeah. How did I find you? I flew straight from Ruin Station, straight to here.
Impact warning.
This guy probably crashed out or something.
Rear impact warning.
I don't think I see anybody.
Front impact warning.
Yeah, this is what you don't do in Star Citizen when you want to be, like, subtle. You don't just fly straight from Ruin Station straight at the planet, because people will do that. Game rules. So this ship's abandoned anyways.
Rear impact.
Doesn't matter. Parts. Vapor Block. Strike Force, Delta Max, Colossus, Encounter, Shimmer. Hey, this guy did not, and he's got Shredder repeaters, so this guy has put some effort into, like, upgrading this. He did. I don't right. Imagine, like, he hit me with, like, a thing. This guy actually put some stealth equipment on his ship, but it didn't matter because he went in a very predictable line down to Terminus. So as a result, you've been able to scan parts for a while now. You just got to click on the tab. And then Nomad, I believe you can actually access and rip out the parts, but they're like they're not even A-rated, like stealth equipment. It's like B grade, C grade shit. So I don't care. So we need to get measurements. You get measurements to the star and to all the Lagrange points that are in the orbit. Calculates OM3, I don't care, it's only a couple kilometers. 68.26 gigameters. I don't need to do that, so... And then we just multiply all that stuff by 2. 68.26 GM. And then Megaman refueling, I believe, is the Lagrange point, like 3 or 4. Megumi refueling. 70, was that 78.35? There should be like a Lagrange point for Terminus as well. Pyro 6L1, there it is. It is 2 point, yeah. What is it? PY R6L1, Pyro 6. Dash L1, which is going to be 2.44 GM. And there should be like another Lagrange point nearby. Yeah. And that is, what's this one? 2.55. Pyro 6-L2 is 2.55. We could probably just make the... We don't have to be like super... Then we could probably like mark all these clusters as well. So Megaman refueling is one of those. Deadly Daughters is 78. Dudley and Daughters, where's the and sign? Is 78.35. And then we have Endgame, which is the furthest you can go. Which is 136.49 GM. I believe that's... I'm trying to remember what L points those would be. That would be like L.3, Terminus L3, Power 6 L3, if I remember correctly. Just remember to mind your manners. Okay, cool. So that's really all we need, and then we can start building up the rest of the stuff. Like, okay, Stanton Gateway we need, which is going to be... is 82.67 GM, and then Nyx Gateway. I don't think there's a third warp gate out of here. Is 85.52 gigameters. And I'm gonna have to run up to the bathroom real quick because I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Vertigo's gotta pee. All right. So we have some of the bigger measurements, and then we need to get all the planets in here as well. Okay. I don't want to do the L points because I don't really care. Rat's Nest, that's gonna be relative to what's in that orbit, which is gonna be Pyro 5. Pyro 4 is just a moon. Okay, Terminus to Pyro P5 is 101.39 gigameters. I mean, I guess we'll just, to be thorough, I mean, it doesn't matter. P4 is a moon of P5. And then we have Pyro 3, which is Bloom, which is going to be 51. Which is P3. Which is 51.95 GM gigameters. This will just kind of give me like rough estimates to like put everything in place. And then we have Monox. Which is Pyro 2. Which is 78.95 gigameters. And then Terminus to Pyro 1 is 64.85 gigameters. We should probably put this into the Star Citizen maps. There we go. So that should be all the main distances. Oh, thank you, Rob. So that should be all the main distances I need. There are some clusters and whatnot which we can measure as well, but honestly, I don't really care about these fucking clusters. Like there's a couple like I can't remember where. There's the Bit XX Text. Thanks for that follow. For some reason, my alerts aren't working today. I don't know why. So there are some important clusters where you like get the red key cards printed, and there's like obviously the like PYM exchange, which we can just measure from like the star. Fly over to like PYM exchange and measure the distance to the star, and then fly over to the clusters that print the red key cards, measures the star, and then we can put them on the map roughly where they belong. That's what I would do to make sure they're relative, because everything would be relative to the sun. Everything should be relative to the sun, right? When we're doing our map here. All right, so the next thing we need to do is get rid of these grids, because keep the grids, keep the guides, get rid of the grids. Next thing we do is Pyro Orbit. So Pyro System map, so this is the Terminus map. Pyro measurements. So this is Pyro Terminus Pyro Terminus orbits measurements. So this is all Terminus, like Terminus to this, Terminus to this, Terminus to this, Terminus to this. Kind of give us an idea how far everything is away from Terminus. So first thing we need is Terminus to Pyro. This is the big one right here. Right? And that's going to be 68. So we multiply that by 2. And then we get, because we're going to just double everything. So 68.26 times 2 is 136.52 So on the map, we're going to grab our circle tool here. And we're going to do... That may be outside of our... No, 136. Okay, that may be... I'd like to say that's... So it's going to be 1365 by 1365. That, yeah. So that's going to be a little out... That orbit is a little outside. We may not... Because got to realize the scale of Pyro is a little different compared to Stanton. So I was able to get away with this doubling of everything to make it so it fits. I may not have to do that in Pyro. I may just move the decimal point over by 1. I may have to do like a different scale. How about 162? How about 62? How about 682? Because what we're doing with the Stanton one was we were taking all the measurements in Stanton and multiplying by 2 and moving the decimal over 1. So basically multiplying by 2, then multiplying by 10 in order to get the actual Stanton map to work. Because the scale for the Stanton map just sitting there by itself just wasn't enough, like the 1080p scale for my monitor. Every time I tab out, it closes the toolbox. So we need to find a scale that works for this. So if we do this, if we just push it to like the limit right there, right? Fixed aspect ratio. I feel like that's not an actual circle. There we go. I don't think that doesn't look like an actual circle. And of course, we can put it on the center here. That's why that black pixel's in the center. Why can't I... Wait a minute. That is the exact center. I can't get it to fit on the... Oh, as long as it's on the black pixel. 900. And then we need to figure out what our... 900 by 900 works so much better. Yeah, so the multiply by 2, then moving the decimal point over 1 is not going to work. What if we multiply by 5? 68.26 times 5. 341. No. We need to get to around 900. So if we take it, how about 9? Multiply by 9. 68.26 times 9. That's going to be 614. We can multiply it by 10. It'd be 600. How about 11? It's 8.26 times 11. 700. We're getting close. How about 12? If we just multiply everything by 12. Because Terminus to Pyro is going to be the furthest away in the Pyro system. 800. Okay, so multiply everything by 12. It looks like it's going to be your best bet. Times... Oops. 68 0.26 times 13. 800. Okay, 13 works. 26 times 14. 955. So what if we just do everything by 14? 955 by 955. Yeah, how about 15? 68.26 times 15. 10,000. 1023. That could work. 1023. 1023. Yeah, we'll have enough room. Although I feel like these are a little too well rounded here. Okay, so let's do 15. What was it, 1023? That gives us everything we need, and then we again put that in the exact, oops, you motherfucker. Puts everything in the exact center. And unfortunately, I can't put it exactly in the center. Because it's going to be 540, right? Then, yeah, that's the center. Wait, what? Okay, hold on a second here. Single window mode. Yeah, because the exact center should be, because we already did the math for this. It's 960 by 540. Which is, we zoom in and do image, view, grids. That's where my cursor is. $960 right there by 540. No, that's it right there. Yeah. And then down one. So I can't get the exact center, but it's in there. Can I do snap to grid? No, for some reason the center won't line up perfectly with it. I can't get it into the exact center. Whatever, fuck it. We'll do it right there. And then edit. Because the background's going to be black, we need to fill with whites. And edits. Fill with foreground color. Edit shrink by 2 pixels. And then delete. There you go. There's your Pyro orbit. And then, or that's terminus orbit. And then we need a layer group. And then we need Pyro Star. Nope, this is going to be terminus. Planet. And we need one of those. The star is 50 by 50, so we'll do 20 by 20. Actually, we can do 30 by 30. We can actually make it bigger. And then for this one, we're going to have to choose like a different color. Plants usually, like, in my mind, I think brown. For some reason, this foreground selection tool does not like it when that's behind. Oh, there we go. Kind of like a dirty brown. Greenish color. Have an orangey color, I guess. Then edits. There we go. Oh god, we have anti-aliasing and radius set. We'll take off anti-aliasing feather edges and radius is 0. Why is it going outside the bounds of the circle? Hardness, spacing, radius. There has to be a tool for this. And this is something I was struggling with. Oh, spacing maybe? One of the reasons why I like the older GIMP, because it just worked the way I wanted it to. There we go. Figured it out. Yeah. We're gonna have to go redo the orbit. Because the orbit is dumb. Select none. Deletes. There we go. Do orbits. What did we agree upon here? Blah, blah, blah. So 15, 1023. 1023. 1023. Works for me. Then select, let's see, fill with foreground color. Then shrink by 2 pixels. Actually, we can do 1 pixel if we just want it to be like really small. And then delete. There you go. Terminus orbit. (1023 px times 10 to the px). Okay, so we got terminus planets. 20 pixels squared. And then select none. Cool. Did I fill with like a pattern or something? What the fuck is going on here? I mean, we could kind of redo the orbits after a while. Whatever. The orbit's like part of it. And then we need like... Where's terminus like relative to everything else? That's another question. Like the defaults. Kind of in the upper left of it. There's probably a way to like draw a line here and figure out like where this is, right? Do some like trigonometry. But you'd have to have other stuff on there. So you just kind of have to eyeball it. It's like up here. Probably figuring out all the orbits and whatnot. I don't know. But it's up here somewhere. We'll just kind of like determine its planet. We'll just move it. We'll just move it to roughly where we think it should be. Like that. Good enough. And then what else do we got? PY Pyro, what is it? Pyro 6, Pyro L6. PYR 6 dash L points. So that's gonna be a layer group in there. Pyro L6 orbits. There we go. So we got that. And we need to multiply the orbits by 15. Right? To, let's see here. We also need a layer. No, we're going to put that right there. What do we call this? This is the legend. So we know what the fuck we're doing here. That'll be the legend group. And then we'll just like flip that. Scale is 1 px equals 15 gigameters. There we go. We don't need to have like 48. That could be like a 12 font or 10 font even. Just kind of collapse it over there. And that is the legend group. Because we're multiplying everything by 15, so 1 pixel is 15 gigameters. And then Pyro 6 L points, Pyro 6 L point orbits. Do that. So what are we dealing with here? Times 15, Terminus Megaman, Terminus Pyro 1 times 15. 2.44 times 15, 36. We're just using straight, like, we're not multiplying, it's just 36.6, so it's gonna be 36. 36 pixels. You thought it was gonna be a really big. That's good. L6-L1. L1. And then we need that's L1 orbit. Honestly, could probably go off the yeah, so that's times 15. What was that one? That was like 36. Yeah, that was 36. $36 pixels. Let's see here. 2.55 times 15 is 38. 38 pixels. And so we'll just do 10 pixels for the circle here. The L point. Something like that. Parallel 6 L1 dash L1. Is that the orbit? Is that that's the actual point? That's the orbit. What is that? That was like 30. The L1 orbit was 36 pixels. L1 is 10 pix. So let's leave it empty if there's no station there. What do we want to color it, though? Kind of a gray color. I don't know. Not red. Kind of a dirty gray, I guess, would be nice. Yeah, look there. Bucket tool, select none. Oh. Control Z, because, yeah. There we go. There's nothing at the L point, so there's no reason to, like, fill it in. And then we'll add another one. And this will be like just Pyro 6 dash L2. That'll be 10 pix as well. 10 px. Give me that. Give me that. 10 by 10. That is kind of out here somewhere. They're really kind of off center from like Terminus. Yeah. There's Pyro 6 L1. And then L2 is like back here somewhere. At Pyro 6 L2. So they're kind of like off center, but really they should be like towards the star and away from the star. And let's go ahead and fill with background color. So shrink by 1 pixel. So they're so close it doesn't really matter. Then we can just grab them, move them around a little bit. Like that. There you go. And then we get Megaman refueling on here, which is over this way. Since we did write down Megaman refueling, got the Lagrange point, we can do. This is going to be Meg refuel orbits from term. It's not an orbit, it's just like a distance. And, okay. So what do we discuss for Mega Man 78 times 15? This is going to look weird when we do this. But I have a plan. 0.35 times 15 is 1175. Okay, so we need a circle 117. Oops. I want to do that. 1175. 175. We can put that on top of terminus. Roughly centered. Right there. Now, it looks like I fucked up, but I didn't, because Mega Man's going right here, where these two lines meet. So we fill... like that. Select shrink by 1. Delete. And that actually gives you all your L points right there. And that's... and on this one, this is going to be Mega Man refueling. Megumi. $10px. Grab that. 10 by 10. Goes right where these two lines meet. And then we get a dropper. Grab that. Let it fill. There we go. There you go, and you have a Mega Man refueling group. And grab this. We don't need... that could probably be a 10 font, 10-point font. Which is... 78.35 from terminus. P6. Then we can grab that and move it around. Or not. Can we just anchor this background? There we go. We probably should, like, measure these all from the start, but I don't know if I really care to, like, put, like... whatever. So we got Mega Man refueling group done. Yeah, let's take the measurements out. For now. We'll just leave Mega Man refueling in there. That's fine. And then we need another layer group, which is going to be... Orbit? No, it's Rat City. Dudley and Daughters. Which is 78.35 times 15. 1175. Exactly the same, so... yeah. Dudley and Daughters. Dudley and Daughters group. And we'll just use the same orbits. Megan refueling. It's gonna be right here. Helps if I actually type in station correctly. Station! Because it is a station. 10 by 10. Goes right where these lines meet up. Edit fill. Set edit fill. Then shrink by 1 pixel, and then delete. No. We don't need to do that. All right. And then we need to grab that. Grab that. Station. It is a station. And then Pyro 6. Let's see here. PYR. What is it? Pyro L6 dash L1. That'll be 10 pixels. That's 2 PYR 6-L2. That'll be 10 pixels as well. This is terminus. Or Pyro 6. That'll be 20 fonts. We'll put that in brackets. And we can put like Ruin Station on here too. Shun hubs? Stay shun. As in shun. We must shun the station. And we can probably put Ruin Station out here somewhere. We should probably just have like a list of stuff in here that's around here, like 2 pixels or something. Yeah, we're locked. I feel like I should make this stuff a little brighter. Maybe we should use different colors, like green or something, or teal. We should definitely recommend write down Ruin Stations out here. Something like that. No, how about we do this? Terminus P6. Ruin Station. Like, okay, so you have to have a 10 pixel minimum to even see that. Minus Ruin Station. There you go. Terminus P6. Ruin Station's out here. What if... Cannot paint on layer groups. It's not a new layer group. For some reason, I can't paint. Select none. There we go. Now I can paint. What do you think? What do you think, Jake Hiroshi? I'm trying to. Okay, so we know what terminus is, right? Pyro 6. This is terminus, Pyro 6. So we're trying to indicate to the viewer, to everyone who's reading this, that Ruin Station is on Pyro 6, or in orbit of Pyro 6. And I don't know if that conveys, right? Or maybe I should put a box around this and just like have an arrow pointing to this planet right here that says, hey, here's all that's here. Here's a big list of shit that's on this planet, right? Or near, like. There we go. We should probably create like a new group there. I mean, it looks kind of irritating, like you unfold this and there's a shit ton of layer groups and it's just like, Vertigo, what's going on here? Text group. Text and art group. I think that works. I think that kind of works. Now, yeah, so now we need to figure out where the L3 point is, which we can do. Looks good to you. Yeah, that's that. Sometimes I have that where it's just like, okay, Vertigo, like what you did is good and it looks good, and then you like actually release it to like the public and it's just like, that's not so good, Vertigo, what you did there. Okay, so there we go. Kind of like, yeah, do that. So you got Terminus with Ruin Station is kind of pointing towards Ruin Stations here. I don't want to lead people to believe that Ruin Station is in the Lagrange orbit. It's not. It's very close. It's low Earth orbit, low orbits. And we can double down on that. Low orbit station, LOS. Technically, Leo would fuck it. I hate the Leo, but everyone would understand it. Leo, low Earth orbit. What does Leo stand for? Low Earth orbit. You can make this stand out a little bit more by making it red. Go through Ruin Station. We may have to move that on the other side. Well, it's Pyro. Like, there's plenty of space. And then we're going to go back to the legend down here. And we're going to, like, scale 1 pixel is 15 gigameters. Vertigo, what does Leo stand for? That's what a legend is used for, folks. It's, if you don't know what an acronym is, Like, you go to the legend, it's like, oh, that's what that is. That's what that means. Vertigo, do you expect morons to read? Yes, I do. I expect people who don't speak English and people who are not very bright to read this map and try to figure out what the fuck is going on here. All right, so Terminus Orbit Group, or P6, the P6 Orbit Group, called the P6 Orbit Group. So we need to figure out, and this will be easy, because we're going to grab a new layer group. And which group is this going to be, Vertigo? There was like, Major Hobo was like, no, Vertigo! Yes, I expect people who don't understand, don't have a very good grasp of English to read this. Even if you can't read, right? Well, there's things we can do, right? All right, so we're going to go to Endgame. And this doesn't matter because this is going to be the same orbit as, like, everything else. So I don't need to touch this. But we do need to have... Oh, shit, it's time. I just realized it's time for the podcast. Okay, let's get this done, then we'll sign off. So we need to get endgame, and endgame is going to be a line. So this is endgame. No, it's not going to be orbit. It's just endgame group. And this is going to be... Ah, cancel that. That's going to be the line, because we have to draw a line through... We have to draw a line through, and we're going to use a bright color. We're going to have to draw a line through Terminus through the star. Vibing. And we'll do view... snap to grid, yes. So we already have that. So we have to get roughly in the center. So, right about here. And then we draw a line. It's not even the center. That looks centered. Centered to y'all. Looks centered to me. And then we draw a line. There you go. And when that's where endgame is. Endgame station. Gray. 10 pixels by 10 pixels. Oh, snap to grid is fucking me over here. There you go. Station. This is 10 pics. There we go. That is the start of the pyro map. That gives us all the pyro P6 Lagrange points. And if we get rid of the view of grids, it's a little bit more legible. I feel like I need to change the color and the size of the text and the stations. Maybe the planets too. Maybe the sun as well. The sun is a pyro. Yeah. Let's make a pyro star group. We'll just write that. Like red. I probably don't want it to be much bigger. I mean, we could change the size of the planets to like 30 pixels or something. Go ahead and save everything. But yeah, that's Terminus. We do have measurements for everything else, so we can kind of roughly place everything. And the idea with the other measurements, it'll kind of get everything kind of positioned in the solar system relative to each other. We could also get the jump points are going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Like I said, we'll have to like do measurements for everything to the jump points and get like an area where the jump points are supposed to be, and just kind of put them in that area so they look correct. But everything's basically being measured from Pyro to Terminus. I like it. I like it. And then I can use also color coding. I think the gray is kind of bad. We'll put this down here. This is the Pyro Star group. With that in there. Center of map. That's the center of the map. And we can like hide that when we get finished, but that's the exact center of the map, so you know roughly where it is. It looks like I'm getting Discord notifications, so Paul probably wants to start the podcast here in a little bit. So there you go. That is the start of these Pyro solar system map. And we'll just, I guess we can leave these as just kind of like, because this one right here looks a little different. Also, like, the text is kind of hard to read. Like Dudleys and Daughters. We probably don't want to go... You probably want to go the text a little bit bigger. 10 font is a little too small. Where's the Terminus endgame group? Let's pop him open. How about 12 fonts? Let's see how that looks. Yeah, okay, so 12 font is gonna be like the minimum. I can't even read that from just being all the way zoomed out. Mind you, this is like the small map. If I got rid of... I kind of moved this stuff off to the side, maybe it would be... Nah, it wouldn't be better. 100%. At 100%, yeah, I can read Endgame Station. Also, Vertigo, you spelled Endgame Station wrong. Like a douchebag. Also, is there a better text? Is there a better than this one? Normally I use like Arial or something. Serif. How about Arial regular? You should sell it as a tattoo. I think this is not a very good one either. Seraph Italic, Arial Black, Arial Bold, Calibri, Courier New Regular, Corbel, Corbel Light, Corbel Italic, Courier New Regular. Let's do a 12 fonts. Yeah, I mean, that is a little easier to read. Oh, if we turn off anti-aliasing, it's even better. Yeah. So yeah, we'll use the Courier New Regular fonts. And then we'll turn off anti-aliasing. And we'll increase it to 12 fonts. That's a little easier to read. We can also increase... No, that increases that. There's a way to, like, change the spacing. No. There's a way to change the spacing of the letters. I think it's this one. Yeah. Why is the G so fucked? Oh well. It certainly does. Yeah, the G's more fucked up here than it is down here. Courier Regular. How do you spell Megamin refueling? Megumi. Yeah, I did it right. This could be 12 fonts. All right, so yeah, we can just like space out them a little bit better. Courier New Regular. That's 12 fonts. And then boop. Don't you have an AA meeting to attend? I do. Okay. Why did that not switch over to Courier? Yeah, it didn't switch over. I don't know how to do that. You fucking... Yeah. Now it's switched over. But yes, I do have a fucking thing to go to. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by like actual things. So let's quit that out. Let's quit out a Star Citizen. We can finish that up later. All right. So we're going to go send a raid over to the Astropub. We're going to be doing a podcast over there. Let's see, is he? Yes, he is right now. We're going to be talking about, I think, the Alliance Aid events. It's been a while since we've been on the Astropub with Paul Shelley. But we'll be talking about Alliance Aid. We'll be seeing you guys in a few minutes on the podcast. If not, have a good weekend. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific. That is a Seattle, Los Angeles time zone. Hopefully check you out there. But yeah, have a good night. Have a good weekend. Mm-hmm.